Welcome back to the podcast. Paul and I were just this minute discussing, should we open the podcast with cheers, everyone, and then you'll think it's over.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. No, actually, hello. Happy Tuesday. We're glad to have you back with us. We have a huge podcast of an interesting topic, kind of related to the one we just did, but a little bit off kilter from that. And two good car debates, two good car conclusions. You guys have got a bunch of questions. We're going to dive right in because there is a lot. There's not a lot of news up front.
Not a lot of worthy news.
Yeah,
there's
news, that's actually fair. There's
but
not
worthy to be really discussed.
Yeah, that's fair. Toyota had a bit of news here. There's the Japanese mobility show happening right now, and they were saying for a couple of days, hey, we've got a new mid-engine we're going to release on Friday. And you thought what we thought, what everyone thought, which is MR2.
They've teased it by building a prototype with the GR Corolla. They've got patents and drawings, and
they've saved the name.
Trying to extrapolate,
and they've saved the name GR MR2 as well, just in case. Well, I'll show you the mid-engine they released. I don't know if you've seen this already. The mid-engine they released is this K-Truck. They got with Daihatsu. They released a K-Truck, and I resoundingly do not care.
I mean, it's kind of cool. It's just not cool under the banner of we're releasing a mid-engine something.
Yes, that is the key problem.
And teasing the world.
That is the key problem.
Tune in.
But
if it were just like a side, like, okay, cool.
Yeah, there it is. Cool. Yeah, nice.
You got a ranch? Fine. Cool.
They and Daihatsu apparently had a competition for who could make the best one of these. And, of course, they own a lot of Daihatsu. And so that was a thing that they did at the Japanese mobility show. Great. I actually, in and of itself, fine. It's just we were all expecting one thing. We got another thing. It's a little bit of a bait and switch. We wanted to talk about the fact that it happened. But I only bring it up legitimately. I'm bringing it up because I still have hope that an MR2 is coming.
I mean, I think it will, but they've done damage because now they're crying wolf. We'll all think, okay, you're just going to pull this kind of stuff again.
Next time, are we going to pay as much? That's a good question.
And then maybe they'll really drop it and we'll be like, oh, wait.
wait, no, sorry. I am excited. That's the one I'm excited about. Yeah, for sure. We'll see. Griot's Garage is our official car care partner and one of our very first sponsors for the show. They don't just make great car care products, they want you to get out and drive your car.
Griot's is a family-owned company, and they've been a part of every one of our road trips. We always take speed shine on every shoot, helping us spot clean cars at a moment's notice.
Their foaming glass cleaner is the quickest and best way we've ever found to get windows clean before a big day of driving. And they're always releasing new and improved products like their updated Wash Bucket 2.
Plus, all of Griot's liquid products are 100% guaranteed and made right here in the USA. The Griot's people are always happy to answer any questions to make sure you get the right product and the right results.
So get the best quality car care products out there from a company that has always supported this show. Our audience can always get at least 10% off by using the code DRIVER10 at griotsgarage.com.
We've got a Topic Tuesday from Justin D., who wrote to us back in October 2025 about putting together the perfect car day.
Okay.
He said, a spring day, windows down, a drive through the country, stopping for ice cream. Somewhere in there is a car wash in the driveway, perhaps a beer.
Okay. All right.
Diving into certain cars for certain perfect days. And I like that you just left it really loose, Justin, because it really got me thinking about what would a perfect car day look like? What would your perfect car day look like? And you know what? The cool thing is it can look like anything. It can be anything. We're inventing our own categories. Okay. We're using our own, whatever cars we come up with. I've got three different scenarios. Two hotels, two locations, three locations.
Wow. Okay.
2 cars, 2 hotels. It kind of grew. It grew.
Of course it did. You like lists. Yeah. I will also say the other thing that happened here is the fact that we did not give ourselves any more parameters than we just mentioned. So that gives you and I the ability to wander far afield and away from each other. I have 6 different days I picked.
Oh, really?
I have a couple of cars for each of those days. And here's the rules I gave myself. All of my cars are modern. You could go get them.
Okay.
Okay. They're not. Because I thought about I could do this with classics. Like, when's the E-Type? And then I'm going to the E-Type. Then I have to get this car. So I just stayed. Everything I've got is like within 10 years old. I just stayed fairly modern cars you could go get. These are my rules. These aren't your rules. These are my rules. So I stayed fairly modern cars. And I want you to go first. But my days I picked were the wedding day.
Oh, you picked events,
what's
like
the
a day?
Car, the perfect car for the wedding day. Oh. The perfect weather day on Pacific Coast Highway.
Okay.
Like it's like 70 out and sunny.
That's pretty perfect.
Like that. Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah.
All of the road is open because that doesn't happen a lot anymore. So there's that. What's your tight technical canyon car?
This is interesting.
What's your cross country with back roads car? Like a road trip like we would take. Okay. What's your track time car? Its purpose is track. Like that's all you're doing with it.
This is good.
And what's your blizzard car?
Really?
So these are my lists. And the other thing that I did that I tried to do, and it's not, I didn't do it perfectly. But the other thing I tried to do is a price spectrum, like something that really is everyday driver money. Like you could probably go get one with any kind of budget, probably, all the way up to what's the money no object version.
Okay,
I picked
good.
like 2 or 3 cars per, because I went crazy. But I also just thought I'm not going to just shoot for the moon. I'm going to get a car that's like somewhat accessible that does this same thing. So those are my categories. And these are my rules. You and I do different rules. One of the things I love about
kind
these,
of fun.
we just do our different rules. So where'd you go?
I did shoot for the moon. I shot for the moon.
I'm not surprised. No one actually listening is surprised.
Kind of crazy.
Okay, good.
I'm going to jump right in with the car. So what I did was start with the car, and then I'll describe the experience to you.
Ooh.
Starting with a 1961 Ferrari 250, short wheelbase, California Spider. I really like this car.
If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up.
13 million, I think, is the
Something like that, yes.
I've heard of some auctioning for more. I've heard of some auctioning for in the 6 to 8 range. It depends on the year.
He never drives it. He just rubs it with a diaper. I could do the first 10 minutes of that movie.
so
like
funny.
Every line. Anyway, yeah.
I really like this car. Here's in blue. Here's a front shot, and
gorgeous.
then actually GTO. I think it's GTO Engineering actually does some continuation cars, or I guess some one-off engineered cars. But it's one of those cars where I just go, oh, it's just so beautiful, and that's very much part of the experience. And I think, Justin, that's what you mean. So perfect car day, perfect car, meant to be driven, and it's so blindingly expensive. It's sort of like caution to the wind. You know what? It's so crazy expensive, and it sets it up to be the perfect day. Now, it's not going to be perfect if something goes wrong, but I'm going to
We're not thinking that way. Yeah.
Going to live in perfect land over here, imaginary perfect land. Because I got thinking, and my first experience is actually tied to a favorite recent film, The Equalizer 3 with Denzel Washington.
Okay. All right.
Really cool movie. I mean, the guy is an incredible actor, and
you enjoy those films a lot. They're on your list for sure.
I really like those, just because of the subtlety and what he can do, and just and in Equalizer 3, I'm gonna ruin it. If you haven't seen Equalizer 3, the bad guys just get crushed.
You like carnage. You
I
like
do.
when the
do.
action hits, you want it to be carnage, and those movies are all about that. Yeah.
So in the movie, Denzel finds himself in Italy. And I looked up the town where most of the movie was shot.
Okay.
The fake fictional name of the town in the movie is Altamonte. That doesn't exist. The actual town exists, and the real name of the town is Atrani, 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 Italy. It is down the coast about 3 hours from Rome on the west coast of Italy. It's about an hour and a half from Naples.
Okay.
And about 3 hours down the coast. And so I just thought, all of his experiences, I wanted to take a 61 California Spider down to Atrani.
I love it.
And I just got on Google Earth on Street View and just took some screenshots. Here they are of Atrani, Italy. This is the square where some of it was shot as well. Just hang out, have an espresso. I want to eat some pasta.
You know what I kept thinking when I watched this movie? I kept thinking that Denzel Washington and Antoine Fuqua, the director, are genuine friends.
Okay.
And just like to do stuff together, which is why they've done these movies.
Right.
And they just decided, let's vacation here, and while we're there, shoot a movie.
That probably happened.
Probably what happened, yeah.
And then the bad guy, it was just so satisfying. Just takes him out. So here's Atrani, and along the coast, just driving. I mean, the
gorgeous.
It just imagine. So a big part of this, of course, is the car.
Yeah.
Atrani, Italy, and a beautiful woman sitting next to me. So
I get it.
That is absolutely part of the equation. And we're setting out to explore. We just fly into Rome, and we pick up the car, and it's just waiting for us, and we just meander down the coast. And I do want to eat at the Ristorante Savo, where Denzel has his breakfast and his cup right there.
Look at
coffee.
You. That's good.
And just Google Earth screenshots right here. So I'm, meandering through on down the coast, and I thought I could keep going, but I'll leave you with that. But the perfect day, and then we just find ourselves a wonderful seaside hotel and park the car out front and just have an evening. And
I love it. That's cool.
That's
really cool.
sounds perfection to me.
It's really good.
But I didn't stop there because me and whoever this beautiful woman are, we're going to go do Switzerland. And we are going to drive a Singer DLS or one of the new Singer Turbos, because I figured with a classic Ferrari in Italy, if it breaks down, the locals will just come out of the woodwork to help you. And there's old Ferrari parts just laying around the country,
in the closet.
Right?
They totally do. Yes, for sure.
It won't be a problem. But here's a little bit more modern. I mean, it's newer. It's going to run. But your California Spider breaks down. I think people would just be happy to help you. Have an espresso. We'll work on the car. We'll talk about whatever. And here, I think this car is just going to run, because we're going to be in Switzerland, and we're going to be going to a specific place. It's a hotel I do want to go to. It is the Chiedi Andermatt in Switzerland. This place is right in the valley. I just want to go experience this hotel. Look at it, Chedi, the Chiedi, and it's just spectacular.
Gorgeous, yeah.
I put in some dates, and it's only like $1,300 a night. So... I mean, if the hotels of the world.
I'm going to need
I want to park
minutes.
This Singer right out here. I want to drive through, and I want to park it right out there and, have a lovely evening at the Chiedi.
I may need to stop the podcast and start again. I was not expecting that curveball. Bravo. Keep going.
I mean, I'm rolling heavy in a Singer or
sure.
whatever. I got to stay at a nice place, and we're going to have a lovely dinner and a great breakfast, and we're going to go exploring Switzerland. I want to geek out on watches. Speaking of which, the second part of that trip, maybe it's a separate trip, but maybe it's still going here, is to a hotel, the Hotel des Horlogers in Vallée de Joux. This is the Audemars Piguet Hotel. It contains, actually right next door, the Audemars Piguet Museum, designed in conjunction with Bjarke Ingels, the architect, the Bjarke Ingels Group. And he designed this. It's a 50-room property. So each room is afforded unobstructed views of the sweeping valley located in the Swiss canton of Vaud, just outside of Geneva. The location, the write-up says, I love it when marketers do their, they don't just tell you the location, they have to sell it to you. So I'm going to sell it to you, right?
Okay, please.
So this location holds great historical significance for the Swiss watchmaking industry, but the setting was also chosen as it's the same location as the other ambitious Bjarke Ingels project. It is that Audemars Piguet Museum, and then very close is Jaeger-LeCoultre Museum, and so I want to go there and check
I'm having that white noise moment over here. I apologize, but keep going. Yeah,
I want to totally geek out on watchmaking there in the valley. So this, the Musée Atelier Audemars Piguet Museum, the building consists of zigzagging slabs descending towards the valley and tilting slightly to embrace the topography, while creating a continuous path in nature. On the interior, so here's the exterior of that hotel.
It's crazy looking. It's very cool, but it's crazy looking.
It's modern.
It's very nice.
Like I said, that zigzagging kind of architecture. I think it's a really unique hotel.
For sure.
Really beautiful. And so the interior here, the continuous ramping concrete corridor connects all the rooms to facilitate both visitor and service. The amenities are tucked under the inclined slabs and oriented towards light and views of the landscape.
Good grief.
I want to stay there knowing my
How much
Singer is out
this
front.
place a night?
I didn't check.
I'm sure it's got a healthy comma in it as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then all the watchmaking stuff is right there. We're in Switzerland. We can I want to go to Lake Geneva. I want to just check it all out. I want to check it all out. But doing it in a Singer DLS, that sounds like
that is the way to do it. Yes.
Perfect. That's way up there. So those are my two trips. Italy may be separate. And then I don't know if we ship the car home. Do we ship the car back home? Or do I leave it in Rome? Because I haven't done Southern Italy.
I'll leave it in Rome.
Trying to think through logistics here.
Oh, my
Maybe I leave it in Rome because it'll need some service.
See, what's happened here, everyone, that you don't realize is that Paul and I have spent most of our time before this podcast talking about actual logistics for actual trips we're going to take.
Yes, that's true.
And so it's leaked its way into his brain, and now he's got a Singer DLS. He has to figure out if he wants to ship or leave in Rome, which is a fantastic sentence.
That's the California Spider, to leave in Rome. And
I'm so sorry.
The Singer DLS would be
I'm sorry. So leave that in Switzerland,
yes,
or bring that home. I am sorry about the stressful day you're having.
But maybe both this woman and I don't know who it is, but she and I could trade off driving, and we'd have both cars. at the
You're just
Hotel
doing a
des
Bond film.
Horloger.
I see.
That's a good idea, actually.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
And we're experiencing both because, we're rolling up in these cars. Like we're heavy rollers here, and they're going to roll at the red carpet and,
This is super relatable.
money will
right
fall
now.
from the sky, and I don't know.
Super relatable.
But we're talking about
I do love it. I do love it.
perfect day
yes.
here. So I want to what a great looking room. And the doors open and look at the valley out there.
I
And this
see
is
it.
the watchmaking industry for Switzerland. It's just the home
Do
of.
they have clocks in the rooms?
I don't see any, actually. Well, it's because it's all watchmaking.
When you're the watch capital of the world, do you put a clock in the room? This is my actual
Probably
question
not.
about a hotel.
Because everybody's wearing watches. Everybody has some
guess.
sort of cool watch, and you discover, and you have all these cool
I wouldn't
conversations.
be allowed to stay there. I just walk in there with my bare wrists like some Neanderthal, right? It's just like, what is that guy doing? He has a ponytail and no watch on his wrist. He cannot stay here. I don't care what he's got for money.
Maybe they would offer you, sir, would you consider?
It's like when you go to the restaurant that requires a jacket and you don't have one. They have like
Exactly.
the loaner watch because you got to wear a watch in this
Yes.
hotel.
Oh,
That is ridiculous.
but it's not close to Geneva, so it would be an AP watch.
I'm very worried. Yeah.
Or a Jaeger LeCoultre, which also builds their own movements, and those are nice dressy pieces.
Sure.
Somewhere in the $12,000 to start, and then
Okay.
going from there. But
So 4 of my son's car. Got it. Okay. Yeah.
when you put it in that perspective,
I'm sorry, but I
don't know.
have to. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
So this is my big trip. These are my
Okay,
two
I
big
love it.
trips.
That's
And,
really good.
I get my fill of pasta.
You've done well.
in Italy and espresso, and then here all the great food of Switzerland. There's all kinds of cuisine there, and driving great cars, great roads, gorgeous scenery, awesome hotels, of course, and all the things. So
You
this
know
is my
what?
trip. This is my perfect.
I honestly, I have to give you kudos because you consistently, and all of you listening and watching should know this.
Check
Paul
this place out.
is a fantastic big idea guy. He very often has really big ideas that have come true for the show in some cases, and also for Hooked on Driving. He has these like weird moonshot ideas that are so far out of where my head is. Because I'm thinking, real budgets, real logistics, and Paul goes, what about we go to the moon? I'm like, what are you talking about? And then 6 months later, we're doing like a variation of his great idea. So I have to applaud you because you do that much, much better than I do.
Oh.
I have the much more grounded version of this for better and for worse. So that's where I'm going to go.
I just want to stay like
It's
one of these
very
rooms.
cool.
Like, look at this place. Like
I cannot
that's
imagine
the museum right there. The
the
watch.
comma in that nightly stay.
I can't imagine either.
Yeah.
It just looks
It
quite
does look
lovely
really
and
cool.
different experience.
It does look really cool.
Totally
All right,
cool. So
I'm
there
going
you
to
go.
jump through mine here. I have to start with the wedding day. And let's talk about the wedding day real quick. Because if you're going to go and you're going to have a car for your wedding day, I know what you're all thinking. And I actually had this experience with one of my friends' weddings where one of my buddies got married. He and his wife looked great. It was a wonderful ceremony, all that kind of thing. And then they had the car they're leaving in. And I'm going to tell you the pitfall here. The pitfall is this, especially if you're a car person, you want to get a cool car to leave in.
Yeah.
Which means you either rented it or you borrowed it or whatever. But when that happens, it's not a car you've driven before. All right. And in the case of my friend, they found
Couldn't figure out how to put it in gear?
They found a C2 Corvette, which was very, very nice. It was wonderfully restored. And they had a friend loan it to them. But my friend, so a friend of the family loans him this really nice car. My friend had not driven stick in a while.
Yikes.
You see where this is going?
Yeah.
And the
Didn't
car,
he practice on the car before the wedding day?
No,
Like,
because he didn't have access to it. The car was parked on the slightest incline
sorry about your clutch.
to be able to roll back
Oh, no.
if you put the clutch in.
Oh, no.
And my problem here with this, we think as car people, I should get like an event car for me to drive away in. But you've had a long day, okay? You and your significant other, I don't care who's on which side of the equation here, you've had a long day. You're in uncomfortable, flashy clothing, okay? She is wearing a dress that I'm going to tell you right now was not designed for automobiles, okay?
It was designed for one thing.
It was
and one
not
thing only.
designed to sit into a car, either getting into the car or figuring it all out. And I remember my buddy, he and his wife, brand new wife, got into this C2 Corvette, and we had to help his wife get all of her dress in the car. So now she's sitting in like pool of dress, right? It's up to her like clavicle, right? And he's trying to find the gear shift, which he can't see and he hasn't driven before.
Oh.
And because you're leaving your wedding, everyone's watching you. Now imagine.
Well, the phones are going, the cameras are going, everything.
Everyone you know is watching you leave a venue. Forget your wedding for a second.
Ugh.
You don't want to screw that up. Now put yourself in a car that you've never driven before, in a situation where no one's not paying attention, and you're worried about the car. All I'm saying here is don't do any of this. What you need for your leave the wedding car is the largest executive back seat you can get. That's what you want.
Yes,
you just
true.
want access. Okay,
Ooh, that's nice.
I have a Genesis G90 on screen. That is my more affordable option. Look, I know you can just rent the limo, and here's the other thing I'm going to say to you: if you want to rent the limo, because the other thing, and I say this as a deeply infected car guy, you don't need to drive away from your wedding. It's been a big day. It's been stressful. Lots of stuff has happened. Okay. I know so many people that they got to their wedding day and got sick because it's been like months and months and months of high stress, and now somebody gets sick on the day of because the whole body just like goes, oh.
Yeah.
Or the day you leave for your honeymoon is really common.
Oh,
The day
of
you leave for
course.
your honeymoon, the first day after the stressful wedding day, everybody's like, I am so sick. That is very common. So my point here is just the dress is going to be difficult to get in whatever car. So I have executive options here. I have the
pool
G90.
of wedding dress.
Seriously, it was a pool of dress. And then he tried to not
bunched
kill the
around.
car, trying to leave and not roll back into the curb and wreck the pipes. I felt bad for him. It fixed me. He was okay. It worked out.
Nothing happened to the car?
It was fine, but I felt stressful.
Was he rolling
for my
backwards,
friend.
push
a
the
little
clutch in,
bit,
and like,
a little bit? That's what I'm saying.
Where's the gear? And
Never driven this before. My new wife, I'm going to embarrass. Everybody's watching me. People are taking pictures. This is bad. Anyway,
there's the Friday night
G90
dress
Genesis.
rehearsal. There should be the
There
car
should be, but it's not
practice
how it works.
drive. Here's how we're going to do
I
it.
also have an Audi A8L. Same
That's
idea,
nice.
Executive sedan.
That's
I also
nice.
have, these pictures are getting smaller. Sorry about that. I also have the Porsche Executive. The Executive Panamera is an extended wheelbase Panamera. You don't see them very often.
I've
They
actually
are
never seen
very,
the
very
table
cool. Yeah, isn't that weird?
deploys.
So yeah, so there is an executive, and if you see them in profile, they look really long because of the rake of the Panamera. You make the executive version of that, it looks really long. And then, of course, I have to end with this. This is the Rolls-Royce with the star ceiling. If you're going to go throw down, you want the Rolls-Royce with the executive back seats and the starlight ceiling. That is your leave your wedding. Okay,
That's
so I've
pretty
started
good.
there.
That's pretty good.
Started there.
that.
I'm moving on. The next event that we're doing is the perfect day on Pacific Coast Highway. It's 70 degrees,
Okay.
sunny, light breeze.
Okay.
All of the road is open. I actually tried to find photos that matched the occasion I'm talking about here, and of course, we've got the MX-5 Miata. And I actually think that photo might be on PCH. But anyway, MX-5 Miata has to be the option here. Of course, that is the affordable option here. But there's other options. Again, I did price points.
Okay. All
Started
right.
with
fair,
the Miata.
fair.
The Boxster Spider, specifically the Spider.
Sweet car.
This is fantastic. You get to hear the engine. You don't need the top because it's the perfect day. Convertible. I'm not a huge convertible guy, but the PCH is the place for it. So Boxster Spider is another one here. And the Lotus Elise.
Beautiful.
That is
That's
a
awesome.
fantastic car for this scenario. It's just going to be, and it has the open top. Now, I failed a little bit. I tried to not duplicate cars on my list, but I will admit the Elise works for a few of these. So anyway, so there's that one. I'm now moving on to cars for a canyon road.
Okay.
Good cars for a perfect canyon
you
road.
had the locations.
And I actually,
Like
it took a while.
category
This took a
locations.
while.
That's
I
cool.
went through, there was a lot of Google searching for this to try
cool.
to find photos that look like the location we're talking about. The obvious canyon carver, like this is perfect for this, is the 86 chassis, the GR86 or the BRZ. I have it shown here in the Hakone green, which I really, really like this spec with the bronze wheels and the tan accents on the interior. This is the right spec of this car,
Yeah, it is.
but it's just about the dynamics. And you'd be hard pressed for a canyon driving day to do better than the GR86. I'm not saying you can't, but you can watch our Price of Fun piece. You start going up in price point, the cars get more rare and exotic, but does the driving get more fun? If you're just driving a Canyon, this is about as much fun as any car you can think of. But there are other options here. Your GT4, the Cayman GT4,
What a sexy car.
I can't imagine why you like it. The Cayman GT4 is a fantastic car, and it would be a fantastic canyon runner. I can make no arguments, zero notes here. You're going to have a great day on your favorite canyon. And I'm imagining something like tight, like the walls are tight.
Sure.
It's a canyon.
Sure.
And it's, there's consequence, but the road is tight and
technical.
yes,
yeah.
I just love that for all
like
of
it.
these. Now I have to move on to road trip cars. This is drive cross country and find some good roads. You need to take luggage, the C8 Corvette. The C8 Corvette is one of the very best.
It really
I
is.
just imagine starting on one coast and going to the other coast and finding all the cool squiggly roads along the way, but also knowing you have to take your significant other and you have to take a bunch of stuff with you. And you're going to have times when, you know what we're doing right now? Interstate for the next 4 hours.
Very few cars, modern cars, can touch the C8 Corvette for all of what you're talking about.
And I've picked, I think,
Luggage,
the only other
comfort.
one, and that is the 911.
Yeah.
These are your long-term road trip cars. You do the 911 or the C8, either one of those. Pick your continent and drive from one end to the other. And when the road gets really tight and technical, like the canyons I was talking about before, they're still great. That's the thing. You don't get, because the problem is with some GT cars, which is what you typically think of for something like this. I certainly do. When you get to the road getting tight, you're impressed with how well that car is doing and how much fun you're having, but you're still aware it's a GT car.
Yeah. Yeah.
The 911 and the C8, it's just like, and we're just doing this now.
It's true.
Here we go. Moving on to the next scenario, we're talking tracking. The GR86 is back.
I like it.
It's actually a track photo. I chased photos in
That's
location.
great. That's great.
You're going to have a dedicated track car. Its entire purpose is to take to the track. Well, the 86 is great for that.
Yeah, it is.
Buy your BRZ for your Canyon, buy your GR86 for your track. I don't know. I'm being ridiculous. But these are affordable and super fun. I mean, I know you could say Miata here again too, but this car, out of the box, I submit to you that the 86 is better out of the box for track than the Miata. The Miata you can build into a giant killer. But the good tires and the way the suspension is set up, right off the lot, I'd rather have the 86. So there's that.
Yeah.
The GT4 RS, the Cayman GT4 RS. I
Hello.
picked this over the GT3 RS because I actually prefer this car and the chassis. And the other thing about this is that I don't want to drive this car on the street.
Yeah, it's
The
too
engine
loud.
is so loud
Yeah, it's too loud.
that if you're on track, windows up or windows down, and at Hooked on Driving, we allow you to run windows up. It doesn't matter. All you're going to hear is engine. Your passenger could be screaming for their life in the passenger seat. You will have no idea unless you see their arms waving.
We did it as a joke in our review of the car.
It's ridiculous.
Just engine noise.
Yes.
Doing that.
All
We're
you
just
hear is engine. There's nothing else. But when you're
So
on
funny.
track, that's brilliant. And I love the balance of the chassis of the Cayman GT4 RS. So that's my dedicated track car at the higher price point. Oh, but I also brought a Lotus back. This is the late model Exige. This is the 410 that we didn't get with the revised front end.
I would like to drive this car.
This
on
has
track.
the engine that I have in my Amira. This is the 400 horsepower Camry supercharged V6, filling the entire back so you have no storage space left. But that means this becomes a 400 horsepower dedicated track car. Yeah. And me being the crazy person I am, I would probably pick this over the GT4S, even though the GT4S is brilliant. But
Totally
this is
fine.
the Exige, the late model final Exiges that were really, really awesome. So that's tracking. Moving on again to Blizzard car. What car do you want in a Blizzard? Well, I'll tell you right now. You want the Subaru WRX.
Drifty McDrift.
For all of the pros and cons that we have spoken about the WRX over the years,
Yeah.
if you told me it's a monsoon blizzard, it's going to be as bad as you've ever seen it, and I have the opportunity for any truck of choice or a WRX on winter tires, I'm picking the WRX.
I love how the wheels are straight. It's fully sideways.
fully
The wheels
sideways.
are straight.
Wheels straight.
We're
At
just
some point it's going
modulating the
to come
throttle.
back around. Anyway, so
just
there's
wait for it.
WRX is one of them, but I have one more here for the Blizzard, the perfect Blizzard. The more expensive car is the Carrera 4. The 911 Carrera 4. That's another car. Winter tires on that, I don't care how bad the weather is. Let's just keep driving.
Totally.
The only time you have a problem is it somehow got so deep on the plowed roads that you can't clear it now. But it's going to take a while. You've got to it's going to be a lot of snow fast. So I would take either of those sports cars. These are my perfect cars for scenarios. Kind of interesting exercise, but I tried to pick high and low and all over the map.
That's excellent. We love your Topic Tuesdays. Pick your perfect car day. Come up with your own parameters, the cars, the locations on the planet, whatever that is. We'd love to hear those.
Yeah.
everydaydrivertv@gmail.com and Topic Tuesdays. And you're seeing that, it's just a fun thought exercise. And that's a lot of the Topic Tuesdays that we've been doing lately. But
That's great.
it just kind of gets us thinking about, what do I want out of my driving experience, my life, my trips. We are here to spend your money. Come with us on these trips.
Yes.
But write to us, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. We're adding FCP Euro as our partners and supporters for both Everyday Driver and Hooked on Driving. For nearly 40 years, FCP Euro has been an industry-leading supplier of genuine, original equipment and OEM parts and performance upgrades for European cars.
That means BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, Mini, Mercedes, Volvo, Porsche, and even Saab. Paul, you have to call your brother-in-law and tell him FCP Euro is the place because, as I just said, even Saab. We're putting it in the ad. Anyway.
They offer a lifetime replacement guarantee on everything, including consumables like brake pads, wiper blades, and even oil filters. Buy a replacement, send back the old one, and receive a credit for the full amount.
For your Saab!
Plus, FCP Euro offers free economy shipping on orders over $49 and a 90-day hassle-free return policy for new, unused, and uninstalled parts.
So visit FCP Euro today for more than 300,000 parts ready to ship for your European car and your Saab. FCPEuro.com.
Hooked on Driving announcements. The 2026 pre-grid pass is still available for 2 more days after this podcast drops through January 15th, 2026. That is, like I said, only 2 more days to get the best discounts of the season, and those are good nationwide. So definitely go to hookedondriving.com to find pre-grid pass and then buy for the location that you are located in. And that is a great way to save money on your track days in 2026. Also coming up, our big trip to Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. COTA is May 30th and 31st, 2026. That is a Saturday, Sunday, 2 days at COTA. Also, hookedondriving.com to register there, and we're excited to have you. It's going to be an incredible adventure. 2025 turned out, I think, even better than we thought. It was pretty amazing.
Now I will
incredible
admit,
track.
We are not driving down there this year. That was last year. We're not driving down there. We're going to fly down. We're going to rent a track car. But if you've ever thought about going to Circuit of the Americas, this is your year. We're hearing they're going to some sort of member model in 27. We actually don't know the consequences of that, but we know that this year we're going. You can get on track with us. It's going to be low car count, run the Hooked on Driving way. We're going to have places for you to hang out in air conditioning, and also you can drive windows up. And you can get whatever car, and it's going to be set up by all of our normal groups, so you can drive slow and be a newbie with a one-on-one instructor or go super fast in the upper group. I'm so excited to be back. That is, I'm not claiming to be the best track driver or to have driven every track, but COTA is in my top 5. I love that track.
It's so
such a great
good.
place. Yeah.
You might think that the Formula One track isn't good for lower power cars or just street cars. That's kind of what I thought, and it is still superb. It's just, there's great technical parts. There's, of course, lots of speed, almost 3/4 of a mile in the back straightaway.
Yes, 11 to 12 is however fast your car will go, you'll see that. It's crazy.
It's awesome.
It's crazy. It's one of the only tracks where I've driven on the back straight, and you have time to think about how fast you're going. Because normally, if you're driving correctly, you're getting as fast as you can before you need to brake for the next corner. And it's not about, what's my speed? You're not.
No,
your eyes are up. You're looking. The back straight on COTA is like, how fast am I going? I've just got time to pay. Where are the braking markers? They're still, I can't even see them yet. Okay, no, I'm going that fast, really?
Exactly.
You never pay attention to the speedo if you're driving on a track, and this one is the one that lets you give you the time. So yeah, come to that. We also have our pilgrimage trip. If it isn't open yet, it will be this week. Before the next podcast, you'll be able to register for pilgrimage. That is August 2nd through 9th. It is a very cool trip this year. 2 days to drive on Spa, Francorchamps, 1 day to drive on the ring on a track day, not a public day. But we've also got some tourist days mixed in. We've got a really cool tourist day up front. We've got a road tour in the middle. We've got a tourist day on the back. It's going to be an incredibly fun trip. We've done this for a decade. I can't believe how excited I am about this year's trip. These little extras that we put in, I'm like, this is going to be fun.
And you'll notice that we added actually a day from last podcast. We actually added a day with a cool event that will be described at registration. So that is on the very back end of the trip. So the trip is now the 2nd through the 9th. And we're excited to have you. If you've been thinking about this, we get a lot of emails from listeners, viewers. I've been thinking about this. Is this the year to come? Every year is the year to come, right?
Yes.
The bucket list trip you should do every year.
That we didn't coin that, but it's right.
We didn't. But this trip is going to be really special. We'd love to have you, and we'll share everything that we've learned, and we'll go have an adventure together, and we'll go see cool things and eat great food and learn how to be better drivers, and have a great
Yes.
time on two incredible tracks.
And it's Europe, and it's spouse friendly, much more so than it's ever been, which is really cool. This trip typically has been like very hardcore driving. We're kind of giving it some room to breathe, which makes it spouse friendly. But I keep forgetting to say this, and I think about it after the podcast is over. So I'm going to rant right now.
Do it.
This trip is Europe. First off, just Europe, which is expensive. Europe, cars provided, tracks provided, instruction provided, helmets, meals, overnights, events, all inclusive.
I mean, except for airfare.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything
as soon as
except
you get
for
yourself to
airfares.
Frankfurt, it's all inclusive.
Yes.
Okay. The base price. Now, you can decide to rent the most fire-breathing car there, and it adds a lot of cost to your trip. Of course.
But you're not.
But
you don't
the
need to. You don't
included
need to.
cars at the base level of the trip are very fun cars for newbies to do these tracks. You'll have an amazing time in the base car. You could come with us for that whole trip, 7 days in Europe with everything I've just described, or you could spend that same amount of money in the U.S. where you have to bring your own car, pay your own gas, and you and a significant other get to have 4 or 5 days of driving and lead follow on a racetrack for a few hours. That's what others offer. This is what we're offering. And I forget it because we got our heads down. We're worried about our own trip. And then I see what those trips are. And I'm like, really? So come. I'm not saying it's cheap. It's an expensive trip.
Yes.
But comparatively, value, I'm just saying, this is a trip you'll talk about. Because
Agreed.
we talk about it.
Agreed. Last thing for you to be aware of, our Hooked on Driving Northeast owners, Santi and Cody, are putting on an incredible July 4th event called Stars, Stripes, and Speed. They're going to have an incredible event because they proved it in 2025. It was fireworks, camping, there was drifting, there was a car show, 3 days on track at Watkins Glen. This is a very special event, and it's becoming a tradition already. Go to hookedondriving.com and you can find that July 3rd through 5th event right there. You can register already, start making plans, bring everybody, tell everybody you know. It's going to be a huge, really cool, crazy event. And Watkins Glen is quite a superb track as well.
It's up there for sure.
So everything that we've heard, we've now been there a couple of times, and truly, it's a great place to come. So hookedondriving.com for all of those, and watch everydaydriver.com/adventures for the pilgrimage trip, and then our 2 U.S. adventures this year.
We're going to the Laguna Seca area. We're going to do Pacific Coast Highway and tracking at Laguna Seca. So that's going to be in mid-May. And then we are going to do a Utah meetup trip. And there's a question coming up in the questions later that I want to clarify some stuff about that. That trip is going to be in mid-September. So those are still pending as well. It's going to be so much this year. Yeah. When are you and I going to be home? I think like a chunk of our podcast this year are going to be video from a cool location, which I'm very excited about. It's going to be awesome.
Since you're listening to us, you'll end up shopping for your next car very soon. And when you do, you need Autotempest.com.
Any car, anywhere, at any price, Autotempest searches all the major car listing sites on the web, local or nationwide. And Autotempest has recently added price history for every car listed, so you can see how prices are trending and know if you found a good deal. You can also create search alerts and lists of saved searches so you can find your perfect spec even easier next time.
Search on any device, in your browser or as an app for Apple iOS and Android. New, used, or unexpected, Autotempest is how we search for cars. Go to Autotempest.com/everyday so they know we sent you. Autotempest, all the cars, one search.
For our first car debate, Ben is writing in saying, please help us. He and his wife are writing in from Virginia. They need an engaging V8 car. This has twists and turns.
It's a long email, too. Pretty impressed. Ben, you've put a lot of thought into this. Really appreciate you being with us. Thank you. Thank you for being with us and for watching. Longtime viewer, listener. His perspective, Ben did buy a few years ago a GR86 base, the manual, to replace his previous Mazda 3 hatchback.
Okay.
He took that to 245,000 miles, was running great, which replaced a modified 97 Volkswagen Jetta that he took to well over 200,000 miles.
There's a trend here in this whole email. Yeah.
He's had an 86 Fiero, a few cars before that, but he labored over all of these choices that he could have had for fun cars. A lot of our videos pushed him over the edge. And you and I have heard from so many people at various track days, wherever we're at, I bought a GR86 because of you guys. I feel like we're like selling the heck out of these cars.
Those. Here's the thing. I know in many cases you folks are sick of hearing about that car, but I will tell you the thing that makes me happiest when I hear those stories is what we don't hear is, I bought one of those and they're terrible.
Right.
the nice.
And
Thank
you were
God.
wrong because.
Thank God, at least. Even, and I will also admit, there's been people that have bought 86s and since sold them because they found out it didn't work for their life because of X.
Which
and
is
I totally
fine.
get that, and we all have that in our life. But at least everybody to a person has been like, that was a cool, fun car. I'm not saying it's perfect, but thank God when they buy them, they don't go, well, what are those guys talking about? That always makes me happy, yeah.
Ben also replaced his 2001 Dodge 1500 5.2 manual with a 2017 Ram 1500 5.7 8-speed auto. So they've got the fun car, they've got the utility truck. So the Ram does the double duty for life, and they do take it to the dump. Apparently.
They take it to the dump. They take it
He
on
admits
modest
that.
off-road trails. They do pick up things with it, which is good. I do like that he acknowledges that they actually go to the dump with it, because of course you do. You have a pickup.
His wife came out of a 1997 Pontiac Firebird with a V6 to get a 2013 Kia Soul. They have taken the Kia Soul to, a lot of miles on that.
Everything on here has got over 200,000 miles. They
Yeah,
just
a
keep
lot.
driving everything.
They've driven this
Yes.
car.
You cannot believe how long they've had everything on this list.
Oh, 160. Okay, 160,000. The car still runs great. This is the particular car that Ben is writing about that we need to get rid of. But see, Soul, I was talking about Souls for so long ago. And I was loving Souls, and they had a Soul, and they took it to
At least
a
they
lot of
liked
mileage.
it. But the reality is, of course, he wants to replace this Kia Soul with something else his wife will love. And that's always the hard part and very important. For her, it must be automatic. She actually loves riding with him in the 86 and loves that it's a manual, but she doesn't want to learn to drive manual. She wants it to be an automatic. And even though, again, at the top of this email, it was they're looking for an engaging V8. Even though we are about to create a bunch of parameters that don't work for this car, her first car choice is a Dodge Challenger. And I say it doesn't work because she wants a 4-door. And in case you're following along, the Challenger is quite big, but is only 2 doors. Her perfect car is a purple, obnoxious, loud V8 Dodge Challenger. And I can't argue that if that's the car you'd really like, but it doesn't really meet their life or their budget, because she would actually like 4 doors. She said she doesn't even need the Hellcat. They just get us into V8 and she'd be happy. I think that's still compelling for you. And I'm going to say the thing we always say, and that is, if there's one car you've always wanted, maybe you should just get that car. But we're going to go other places.
That component does exist. You're right.
It does.
She's open to anything. Ben and his wife are open to anything, except they want a Challenger. She wants a Challenger.
She wants a
which
Challenger.
is so funny.
Yep. And then they have their budget, and then she has a bunch of other things she'd like, which kind of take the Challenger back out. But I understand there's just irrational love for a purple Challenger. That'd be cool on the driveway, I admit.
All right, I've got some suggestions. So it's not really fun car. It's not really utility. It's somewhere in between for road trips, for comfort, unless it's a Challenger, and I suppose that could fill that need too. The budget is $26,000 to $35,000 used. They cannot push the budget anymore without taking away from their limited fun and travel budget. They don't mind going as far back as a 2015 model, but it needs to be compelling. So his wife's requirements must be automatic, prefer lighter weight because everything's getting cumbersome.
But they also said Challenger. So anyway,
yeah, but then there's a Challenger.
Moving on. Yeah, going on.
Prefer 4 doors except for Challengers.
Exactly. It's the exception. I get exceptions.
We all have our soft spot.
We do.
We all have the hard and fast rule. Well,
unless it's one of those.
Totally understand. So it can't be too tall as a height, as a car, a vehicle. So respecting the vehicle's height there. No Mustangs. They're not a fan of Ford. For over 20 years, they've watched in horror the stories that his wife's parents have as many as 34 recalls on just one of their Fords.
Wow. Okay.
That is not a typical story. That's not everybody's experience, but okay, that everybody's got their thing. Like
everybody has their brand.
Not that,
yes or no.
And it's
for sure.
It's so different for everybody. Decent sound system with a subwoofer. All right.
Okay.
And last but not least, it has to have a relatively smooth ride. So not too rough for city roads on the highway. It doesn't have to be too severe because, again, they've got this GR86 already.
And they just don't like that. I mean, there's one of their cars, he actually mentioned they put the smaller wheels on it so they get a bigger sidewall. They just don't like having a stiff riding car.
Ben wants something that he can maintain and repair himself. He's willing to do just about anything except rebuild transmission.
Okay.
I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I want to avoid that as well, for sure.
He says he can do oil changes. It needs to have not crazy prices for replacement parts. And, well, he's looking at me, apparently. What? He is sure his wife would like a Macan, but they're not sure that they're ready to have a Porsche replacement part price cutting into their fun and travel budget. All right, I understand. I've got good choices for you. Don't worry. They typically buy cars at the end of the model run before the new refresh or the new redesign happens, which is smart. Absolutely.
That is good. That's very good.
That's serving them well. They prefer non-hybrid. They prefer to stay away from Nissan and Infiniti. Again, everybody has their thing, right?
Well, they also say they really don't want a CVT, which takes all of the Nissan portfolio on its own. That we solve that two ways. Yeah.
And it's just the two of them. It's two of them and a small Boston Terrier. His wife picks up a friend or two when she runs errands. She uses the Ram for everyday outings. And she needs an engaging car. Doesn't necessarily need to be the full fun car as mentioned, unless it's a Challenger.
One other random thing he mentions here is they would really prefer naturally aspirated. He doesn't like turbos. And he realizes in the current market that's difficult, but that's mentioned here as well, which affected my choices quite a bit.
If they really want true fun cars, they've got options they can borrow from family members, like a 2015 GT500, an 87 911 Turbo, 68 Mustang Coupe, also a year 2000 Corvette. So all of these are available if they truly want to go kind of get after it, do some canyon running.
Yeah,
they've got fun kind of covered.
Yeah, and he's got the 86 himself, so they aren't having to chase and duplicate any of those, plus it takes some of those out of consideration. So this is fascinating. And then what I found really bizarre is after all of that, the main things in consideration are not the Challenger, and they're all small SUVs. Based on what we learned before, feel like they ride too high and are going to wind up with little tiny four-cylinder turbo engines. So I'm now confused.
They kind of are,
yeah,
and I think that's acceptable. I'm just starting out with a photo of a purple Challenger. This just happens to be the Hellcat Red Eye SRT, and if we're gonna do it, if we're gonna get one, I mean that's a pretty cool car. And I then went shopping. The lighting from the photo that I found is not exactly flattering to the car. It doesn't quite look crazy plum anymore. But if you do get a Challenger, may I please beg you, plead with you to take it off, take the thing off, the safety strip. It's not a thing. It's not cool. It looks dumb. It's there for shipping and protection purposes. I don't know why it became a thing.
It's like... You remember for the time period
that actually looks painted on anyway.
Yeah, when I think it is actually the rubberized strip.
I don't know.
For a little while, it was a big thing about I'm wearing a baseball cap that's still got plastic on it and the stickers. That was a thing.
Yeah,
it's like fresh from the factory, and there's a whole like subculture in owning Dodge cars where it's a big deal that you keep these on. And I cannot tell you, and I haven't done this, but I cannot tell you, I'm not a vandal. I am a respectful person of other people's equipment and gear and however you want to live your life, but I have never struggled to not do something as bad as I do when I see these cars with the rubberized stuff still on the lower lip. I want to walk over there so badly. I want to peel it off and lay it on the hood and walk away.
Just be like,
and I'm sure I'd wind up arrested. So I haven't done it. But please take that stuff. It's not designed to be on there. And here's the thing. People we know that have worked at Dodge, built these cars, and designed these cars, it pains them to know that people do this.
Yeah. Years later, are we not still over this? Are we past this culturally?
Yeah.
Moving on to the choices here. You had investigated a Hornet, I think, and a Tonale, which are maybe initially good choices, but I'm going to steer you completely over to Acura because an RDX or the ADX, which is really just a gussied up Honda HR-V, but if you want to keep the price down and save a little bit of money, and it looks a whole lot better than an HR-V. So the two of these, I went shopping. I actually found you, Ben, a 2022 with technology package for $29,900. Plaza Motors AZ, it's not this one, but very similar. And you can go find RDXs easy in the $30,000 range. There's a ton of them out there, and they ride great, and they're stylish. And it's always like, if you're looking for the Lexus kind of thing, I always want to steer you to Acura because they're a little bit sportier, a little bit more fun to drive, still great cars to own and drive, and they're just a little bit cheaper.
And people don't think of them, and they have no second buyer.
Yeah.
So as a result, the resale on them is great if you're buying a used one. It's a fantastic choice.
So both of those, ADX is a little bit smaller, so I recommend RDX, but you could even consider the MDX, but if you're going to go to MDX, I'm going to suggest a really fire-breathing MDX Type S for you, and I know that's now out of your price range. So we're keeping it down to these two. I think you mentioned Mazda CX-5, and I'm going to wholeheartedly agree with you on this. And CX-5, I particularly never really liked the CX-50. It's a different configuration. It's just a completely different vehicle. It just rides differently.
Never worked for you. I actually kind of like it, but you and I disagree on that one. Keep going.
So this CX-5, stylish, excellent. It's still compact, and every time we drive it, it's just fun. It's just engaging, and it's one of those rare SUVs that is more fun to drive than it would let on, than you would think. So those are my top choices for you, but I do have this wild card that I'm going to do my best to sell you on, because you've got fun covered, you've got utility covered, and you just want something relaxing. You just want it to be kind of a respite, the respite from daily anything. And that is the Volvo XC60. I'm showing a 2025, actually 24 or 25. So this, the one I found for you was a B5 Core for about $30,000 to $35,000, which is a little bit at the top end of your budget, but with only 15 to 20,000 miles, you've got your choice on Autotempest.com. Just put in XC60 from about 2021 all the way to current, and you've got so much choice. I'm surprised how the prices have dropped on these, but they're so great to be in, and they do have that extra step of luxury. The seats are fantastic. They're quiet, smooth riding. Great place to be. I think it could be a nice place for your fun adventure. It could be that sweet spot for you guys. So the XC60 is something I think you should not only go search for, but definitely go drive one of those and fall in love with the seats, the cabin, the materials, everything about it. Yes, it is the turbo or supercharged, depending on what you find, depending on the configuration. Hard to get away from. And this is also shown as a PHEV, so there's a ton of different options there.
Tons of tech.
Yeah, go find one, and I think you'll really fall in love with them. These are absolutely superb.
That's very good. It's good stuff. Guys, I'm gonna follow a rabbit trail that leads me to my first sniper shot in a while. I haven't had a sniper shot in a long time.
You're calling it.
I kept thinking of other things that worked here and realizing that I'd already thought of the right one before that. I am going to go through your list here because I want to retread this just for a second, Ben, because I understand your wife is coming out of a Kia Soul. So that kind of establishes she likes the four-door boxy mid-size SUV thing. And I understand that that's back in there. But you've said you don't really want a lot of ride heights, and that's the reason most people buy SUVs. You don't want a turbo four-cylinder. You want it to be slightly engaging, and the car she really wants and can't afford is a purple. I'm just going to go Hellcat. The purple Hellcat you showed is really what she wants.
I think so.
Yes, the purple Challenger. So I mean, and that's not my sniper shot, but I'm just saying that's what she really wants.
Yeah.
Your budget is $35,000 on the high side. Look, Dodge Hornet. You talked about the Mazda CX-5, CX-50, the Kona N, the Lexus UX200, maybe a Genesis SUV. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with any of those. I just don't think there's anything right about them either. I mean, I like your RDX, actually. It's more sporty and interesting than all of these. It's a little bit off kilter.
It's kind of, I see Lexus and I always go to Acura.
And the Volvo would be an amazing place to be.
Yeah.
But you want this to be four doors, engaging. You'd like it to have a V8 B-non-turbo. She might actually enjoy driving it. And your reference car is the Challenger. Oh, and by the way, could it be easy to work on and cheap to maintain? And I just have your car.
Do you now?
I'm just done. At Chevy SS. It starts and ends with Chevy SS. This is, you want a four-door, check. The Challenger's not a four-door. You want a V8 naturally aspirated, check.
Yeah.
You want it to ride well, check. You want it to be auto. Those are the ones in your budget. The autos are the ones below $35,000, and there's tons of them.
Are they?
2015 and newer. This car started in 2014 and ended in 2017. Okay.
So that's still in the decade
Still
that they're
Still
wanting
there.
to shop for.
It's a Chevy. Just maintain it.
Yeah.
You get your big burbly V8 power. You get and this is very engaging to drive. And here's what's crazy. One of the notes you said in all of your Challenger comments, we didn't make it. One of the notes you said in your Challenger comments is you were a little worried about, is it too big? And that could be argued. The Challenger is a big vehicle.
It's huge.
This is a four-door that is shorter than the Challenger. And every time I thought about an alt to the Chevy SS, I was just like, Ben and his wife need a Chevy SS. They've got the big truck. They've got his little car. She needs the engaging car in the middle, and wouldn't a V8 be cool? $30,000, which color would you like? Those Auto Tempest earlier.
And the automatics
fall
into that
Here's
category.
the crazy thing. There's people selling manuals for between $40,000 and $60,000. And I'm sorry, I love this, but no.
What?
But for an auto, get the Magna Ride, get the automatic, get the Chevy SS, check every box, and I'm done. I'm out. I'm finished.
This brings up the next series that we need to think about, because I think it's only a matter of time before you have a Chevy SS. So I think we need to get you.
That or a Quadrifoglio. Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio or a Chevy SS, probably just because I will not shut up. Should wind up in my garage.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like one of those two.
Yep.
We get you that.
Yep.
I don't quite know yet what to put alongside that for a...
We almost have to put you in another Maserati product just to close.
All right, I'm open to that.
Because you haven't had a Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Those cars don't really go together, but I mean, they
V8,
do match our kind of interest for sure. Yeah.
That could be interesting, because I think it's at this point, I think you, the audience, is kind of saying, Todd.
Yeah, we're kind of saying that. You're right. But here's as I continue to sell this idea to you and you sell it to me, it could be Alfa and Maserati, because then at least it's Italians.
And it's kind of the same company, right?
Yeah,
So
there's connective tissue there.
you'd do a quad.
I'd do a Quadrifoglio.
Cheap quad and cheap GT.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting interesting.
Here's the only problem with the current YouTube model is, because I love this idea.
Just money. Money's the problem.
It's just money. Yeah, exactly. Be one of our patrons. Help us buy stupid cars. No, but really, the problem with the current YouTube model is it seems like the audience at large, not necessarily you guys, but just in general, are interested in two videos when you have a new car in the stable. The I bought a this and I'm selling a this. Nothing in the middle. I want to buy a car and do like 6 or 8 videos on it. And about 3 videos in, a lot of the audience is like, yeah, we've seen you have one. Thanks so much. And I want to have adventures and do stuff and share all that. But literally the videos that do the best on all of these cars is I bought one and forget it. I sold it.
We have to have a rev battle. We have to have which one sounds better, and a rev battle.
The which one sounds better. Okay, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to copyright it because I said it right here. The rev battle is decided by a bunch of middle schoolers.
Yes.
You can't decide it yourself. You can't leave it to the you got it. And here's the problem. A lot of middle schoolers actually don't want to hear a car engine. They just like their electric whatever. So it might be a challenge. Get a bunch of middle schoolers around and go, which sounds better to you? And I think some of them are going to be like the Tesla. And I'm like, well, that one's parked over there. It's not even involved.
And half will be like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, there would be that.
Quarter of them won't even show up.
That's elementary school. The elementary schoolers would be hungry. The middle schoolers would be very excited about being asked. And if they can look up from their phone long enough to, and take off their headphones.
Like, please, could you just put it down and help us decide?
I know he's in high school now, but this is the struggle that we're having with my son right now, is the number of times that it's like, he's got his headphones on again. My wife could say something, like she's got like volume when she wants.
But they're the cans.
He's got the cans.
The huge over ear.
He's right over there and he has no idea we're speaking loudly to him.
I have noticed that he keeps one cup pulled
when he
back.
Realizes that we are actually trying to have a conversation.
Kind of monitoring
yes.
things going on.
He is living in a world of a constant soundtrack. Constantly.
Amazing.
I mean, I felt like I did it a lot. I was elementary level.
Although I will applaud him, because I don't think his peers know genres of music like he does.
He has a very broad musical interest. Yeah.
From what you're telling me, from what I hear, he knows everything. I mean, Metallica to Elton John to you name it, to whatever's modern he's listening to now. Mm-hmm. It's pretty incredible.
Here's the thing. I would say, and it
I don't know
broader
who he
than
likes
this,
right now.
Well, but like
he went through an AC/DC phase, I think.
Pick your 70s rock band. He knows them all.
That's amazing.
90s rock bands. He's a big rock guy. 90s rock bands, knows them all. You get him beyond about, like into pop music, beyond about 2010, and he's like, I'm out. I don't care anymore.
Really?
Which is very interesting. But he has country stuff he likes. He has, yeah, you're right, broad stuff like Elton John and that kind of thing. There's an amazing breadth of musical interest in this kid, but it's all older stuff. And what's funny is
it's so fascinating.
The number of teachers that have made some sort of like, I like this, or some sort of musical reference that's beyond Bodie's era. And he's like, oh yeah, that song's great. And then suddenly the teacher's like, wait, what just happened?
Right.
That's happened a million times.
But I think more so than his peers. I mean,
possibly.
He's totally into it. So, all right. Well, Ben's wife, you have got deciding to do. Please let us know what you land on. Write to us a car conclusion, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. For car debate number 2, Keith V writes to us asking for a fun car that can toddler. He's a longtime listener to the podcast, viewer of the channel. Keith,
Thank
thank you so much. He's got the car swap disease. I know there's the car swap.
It's just you. It's
car
just you,
disease,
Keith.
car swap disease. I guess it's the same thing, right?
Same thing, exactly. This is how it manifests. It just manifests differently in some people. Some people buy a car, never get rid of it, want to maintain it and build it into a monster. Other people are like, well, I've had that for a month. It's time to move on, which is more like you and I.
Exactly. Yeah. So Keith grew up in his family's auto repair business. He was introduced to not only watching racing, but his dad's passion for time trials and autocross.
Very cool.
He always had the project car around, ranging from his third-generation Trans Am, gutted and caged with a healthy small block, built from a junkyard truck engine, up to a finicky Porsche 914 that got a rotary swap after the air-cooled 4 met its maker at Lime Rock. That sounds like an over-rev event.
It does, but I also question the logic of going from a non-rotary to a rotary at your engine swap.
Choosing a rotary in a car that wasn't built
goes the other way. You had the rotary, and the rotary blew, and you went, what other engine goes in this car? This was, well, we had a normal engine. Why not go rotary while we're here? Okay, great. Also, I think it's amazing.
As soon as Keith had his permit, he was at an autocross in his dad's daily Honda Civic, and in the 24 years since, his list of cars includes things like 3 Miatas, NA, NC, and D.
Of course, because you're an autocrosser. It's perfect, yeah.
S2000. Ooh, a Crossfire.
Yeah, you never see those.
Z4 3.0, Focus ST, Integras, 1989 and a 2024, WRX, GTI, version 7.5, a Gen 2 BRZ, a lot of dull other cars. He's autocrossed at the national level in several cars, and that stopped in 2015 because he got heavily into cycling, road and mountain, which took up a lot of his time. And then his daughter was born late 2022. He had to let go of the BRZ she only had for 6 months, and so it does not baby too well.
Mm-hmm. That's the reality. It really isn't. I did, but it is one of those cars where, you know what, actually, I did not baby with that car. It was young elementary school years. That was afterwards. It was post car seat, and that comes back around here in a minute.
Fast forward, Keith's finally had enough of juggling his boring daily cars to trying to find something that doesn't make him hate life after 6 months of owning it.
Ooh, okay.
He tried the new Integra A-Spec, hoping it would solve that problem, but the 1.5-liter engine was nothing but trouble, throwing a VTEC controller malfunction code multiple times in 6,000 miles of ownership, and every time it would go into limp mode and then reset itself by the time the dealer looked at it, because of course
it did. You get near the dealer and the car goes, no, please don't take me there. I'm fine now. Always.
Last month, Keith got rid of his Mazda CX-50 and leased an Ioniq 6 single motor for dad duty and family errands.
Okay.
Keith works from home. He would like to spend around $12,000 with a pull limiter of $15,000. Requirements are a back seat large enough for a forward-facing car seat that's not too difficult, and a manual transmission.
Okay.
He's looked at BMW 1 and 3 series, both the E46 and E90 gens. The S197 Ford Mustang GTs are roughly in the ballpark of that price range for something decent. And then, of course, the ever-present Fiesta ST.
Excellent, yes.
He stumbled across the G37 Coupe in manual. That's intriguing, and he doesn't like sitting down in the bunker that is later-gen Camaros.
You're not wrong.
Agree with you.
Exactly what they are.
Rear-wheel drive preferred, but not mandatory, but a manual transmission is non-negotiable.
Okay, love it.
He is asking us to help him figure out if he's missing anything in the greater market. If not for the backseat requirement, he would be looking at Boxsters and Miatas and Z4s and all that stuff.
The reality is that his daughter is probably going to be tiny. He thinks she's going to be in a full car seat for years because his wife is only 4'10".
Yeah,
he says, I'm
4'10",
6'1", but it looks like my daughter takes after my wife, so we're going to be in a car seat for a while with her. The car will be used for fun days and weekend trips. Again, he has the Ioniq for a daily. So that's solved. So since he works from home and the Ioniq probably only gets 12,000 miles a year for its lease, this car is going to get less than 5,000 a year, maybe closer to 3,000. So it's not even going to get used a ton. He's hoping that we can pull off something for him.
The Fiesta ST is huge on the list here. I think you've driven one, if you haven't.
He says it's ever present. I get the sense he's at least aware of it, yeah.
Yeah, just such a superb car. And this car is the reason we shot that under $12,000 piece, because this is right in your sweet spot.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Absolutely. $12,000 to $15,000. Go get yourself like a 2014 Fiesta ST. I think you would love it. I love your suggestion. I am wholeheartedly behind this idea. Yes, I do have a few other suggestions for you, though, and that is the second car in our under $12,000 piece. Mini Cooper S from 2005. That's what I'm showing here. I mean, I'm not seeing as many high miles as the one that you've got, which means they're charging a lot more for them. But for $12,000, even $15,000,
You can get the nicest one out there for 12.
Perfect example.
Most of them are 7 and under.
What I'm seeing, they're like 7 to 10, and I'm seeing about 100, like 70 to 100,000 miles. But okay, go get one of these, and they're just so much fun to drive. They're excellent.
Love it. That's great.
Also on my list is the 500 Abarth. So showing a brand new one here, but you'd go back to a little bit older on these, but still, I think you could have a lot of fun with these. And look, it's having fun. It's jumping. Look, it can have fun. And then, of course, the GTI is on my list too. I thought, what if you went way back and looked at R32s?
Ooh.
Of course, the GTI is ever present, just like you mentioned the Fiesta ST. But I think all of these are the choice now. And they're great because none of these, Keith, are going to be a forever car for you.
True. Yeah.
They're all going to be a right now in the growing up years, useful, inexpensive, decent on mileage and maintenance and all that stuff. I think they're all going to treat you just fine, and they're easy to find, easy to own. Yeah, and that's what I want for you. Because again, I would love to go down the road of Boxsters and Miatas and the Z4s and going to find some of those cars, but I don't want you to try to force it to work. You just need something fun, easy to live with.
I agree.
That's all of these cars right now. So that's what I want. You've got some driving homework to do, my friend.
That's good stuff, Keith. I'm gonna push the boundaries of this a little further, and I'm gonna start by saying something that I've talked about before, but I have to land on it again. And I know what I'm about to say is somewhat controversial, but I'm just gonna put this out there, and you're probably gonna play this for your wife, and she's going to shake her head at me, but I'm going to put it out there anyway, and that is, when we all become parents, because I went through this fight as well. My wife and I bought way too much car. I don't know what 15 kids we thought we were going to have, but we bought a GMC Acadia and then went, why do we have this? What's going on? What it was actually for is we knew we were going to haul all the grandparents.
It was the grandparents, right?
Because we have the child and hold him up like Lion King. They all come. So that's why we actually bought that car. But we realized we're never going to have the kids that match this car or the monster dogs that match it because we got rid of it. The other thing that happens is most of us, when we are car enthusiasts with a sports car we love, you had your BRZ. We hear, I'm pregnant, and we go, must sell that car. And I'm gonna put it out there. There is nothing legally that states you cannot put your child in the passenger seat of a 2-seater. You might not like that. It might make you uncomfortable. You might feel like that is unsafe. But if your passenger airbag turns off, and most sports cars have that capability, that's the only requirement. Because they cannot require you, whoever you want to put they in, the big bad they cannot require you to get a different car because you are now a parent.
Yes.
So while I understand your desire is you say must have a back seat, it instantly hits this nerve in me where I'm like, no, it doesn't. I understand you want it to.
Well, there's also the 9-month gestation period.
There is that, but we're way past that. We've got a toddler now. But yeah.
It.
So my point here, Keith, is you could get the Z4s, the Boxsters. You could get any one of those. True. This isn't a daily. It's not like you're running your daughter around in this car all the time. You could put her in a front-facing child seat in a 2-seat car. You are well within the law, and it is fine as long as that airbag turns off. So I'm putting that out there because it's a thing. It really exists. It's like truth. I'm speaking truth here. I know you may not like it, but that is a thing. I'm now going to move on. I'm just off of that topic.
Fair.
Into cars that are 2+2s
right.
mainly is where I'm going with you. I mean, I do agree Fiesta ST is on this list, but let's talk 2+2s. And the first one that you brought up is the obvious one and is a great one, and that is the BMW 1 Series. These are overlooked. I'm not talking 1M; those aren't in your budget, but the BMW 1 Series, that looks great. It's the color that they made the 1M in. That really cool orange.
Right.
But this is a 135, and the 135. And when I first drove it, it was like 2009 when I first drove this car. I drove it at a journalist track day, and it struck me as the M3's little brother. Like the M3 is the boxing champion and his 18-year-old brother'd like to be like his big brother. It's that car. It's really, really fun. So these are overlooked. Be sure you get, and I forget what they called it at the time. Somebody will know, but whatever the sport suspension handling package was, you have to make sure if you give a 128 or a 135 or the very rare 135 IS, make sure it has whatever that package was at the era, because that makes all the difference in these. These are wonderful. I totally agree with that. The G37 Coupe, this is the Nissan Z car of the era with small back seats. This is a phenomenal choice. I really like this choice. Now, you've said your daughter is in a front-facing child seat, so we've gotten rid of the trash can rear-facing monster, okay? But you've also said, this is the key thing about 2+2, is that your wife is short and your daughter is small. The reason that we had issues with our cars, and I'm going to go to the next one, the Fiesta ST we already talked about, so I can go past it, to the actual first-gen BRZ. You've had the second-gen. I'm showing a first-gen BRZ. You've had a GR86, which is the update. I had an FRS. I had a 2013 FRS, the very first year for the 86. And that worked great for when my son was about 5 and was in like a booster until he was about 10 and was out of car seats, because that was the span of which he grew that level. Mm-hmm. My wife is 5'6". Up until the last maybe year of his growth cycle, she was able to easily sit in the front seat and he could sit behind her. You're talking about your wife's even smaller, which means she can go at least a notch or two further up, and your daughter is and you have to shop car seats to match the car. You can't buy the one that was built for the Suburban and be like, why doesn't it fit? You have to shop.
The latches are there, but
seriously, you can shop smaller diameter or just girth, if you will, car seats. So get a smaller car seat, but you could actually rock one of these. It's within your budget. Yes, it doesn't have the power bump that is really nice for the second gen, but I feel like at the beginning of this write-up, you kind of left the GR86 too soon. I feel like that tension from you. So you could get one of these. It's your fun car. The car seat works in it like crazy. But while we're here, I'm landing on the Pontiac GTO.
What?
Manual transmission, Corvette engine, good-sized rear seat 2+2. I don't know why, but it's like Australia Day for my brain. I had the Chevy SS for the earlier, and now I'm at the GTO.
Maybe you get a GTO and I'll get a Maserati GT.
Maybe. I don't know. But these are overlooked. They have kind of bland styling. These were the Holden Monaro elsewhere, and also called, I think, the Opal was also the same thing. Anyway, these are overlooked. They aren't worth much money. They're within your budget. V8 power, good rear-wheel drive dynamics, an enormous rear seat 2+2 in space that drives very well. I didn't expect to wind up here, but as I was thinking, I was like, here's your car, Pontiac GTO. And I'm in Australia land today. I don't even know why.
It's so funny.
I don't know why.
Keith, thank you so much for writing. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. You've got some driving homework to do. Let us know what you get. everydaydrivertv@gmail.com for all your Topic Tuesdays, car debates, and car conclusions. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, for sure.
We're covering car conclusions today.
Yep.
James from episode 839, James M., that was entitled Preserve Your Best Memories. Thank you for writing in. James' dad had passed away a week prior to him hitting send on this email that he had sent to us initially.
That was an emotional podcast for all of us. It was crazy, yeah.
It really was. Go back and listen to that. That's episode 839. And from that episode, James has sold the Corvette as of late November 2025. For the past 2 years, he's mostly been passively attempting to take offers on it, initially trying to find somebody in the family or a neighbor close by.
As car guys are prone to do, what ended up happening is that even though James did sell the Corvette, the reason he's sending in a car conclusion here is because he bought his next car before he'd actually sold the Corvette, because that's what car people do. So he did actually, I'm going to jump forward on just the story of this Corvette, because he sold it to a great guy who said he's going to keep James's father's memory alive with it, and he's thrilled that it went to the right person. But I have to land on what James bought, because what you bought, I will admit, is one of those cars that always turned my head. He bought, I never see these things, but this was the rare Pontiac Firebird I just really wanted, the 1998 Pontiac Firebird Formula WS6. This is the one with the nostrils on the hood.
Check this thing out.
And it's got the actual pop-up headlights. This is such a cool car of that era. This is by far my favorite.
Look at oh my gosh.
He sent photos of this cool car.
Yeah. He found a great example. Even the interior. Look at this interior.
It's spotless. I mean, it's GM bubble era, but it is spotless.
That is so cool. And I love, James, that you love it. And you're actually taking it out, actually driving it. That is super cool to hear.
And I love that you sent those photos, because those are, I don't remember the last time I saw one. They look kind of bulbous and angry, but they are angry. And with the pop-up headlights and everything, that is a rare beast, and you love it, and your kids love it. And so I'm just thrilled that you have it, and I'm glad that there's that conclusion. And the Corvette did go away to the right owner, so that's good too.
James, thank you for writing. Really appreciate it. Car conclusion number 2 is from Dave B. He came to us from episode 916. He said a few things have changed since he wrote. His retirement has been delayed to June of 2026. He's still racking up the miles, so he doesn't want to go into any big purchases yet. But as he mentioned in his car debate, though a Corvette has always been a want, the getting in and out of his car was always a concern, especially for his wife. Over the past summer, he and his wife were sitting by the pool at their shore condo. He was reading one of his Corvette magazines when one of the residents stopped by.
One of the local residents happens to be a Vietnam vet who lost a leg in the war, and so he uses a wheelchair or forearm crutches, but he sees Dave reading this Corvette magazine and starts asking, "Oh, do you have a Corvette?" And Dave's like, "No, I've had a lot of other things, but never a Corvette. I'm worried about getting in and out." And this guy starts laughing because he has a Corvette and he gets in and out of it. He goes, "Buddy, if I can do it, you can do it."
Which meant Dave's Corvette search was instantly on again. So
eventually, yes.
Fast forward to this past September, he found an original owner 2001 C5 coupe with manual and only 18,000 miles.
Wow.
This car has sat. It is ready to be driven. I mean, 18,000 miles on an 01. This thing's practically brand new.
It's a 25-year-old car with 18,000 miles on it. Please, please, please drive this car a lot.
He says the car rides great. He never thought the ride would be this good. The best part is his wife loves going for the rides. She will ask, "Are we taking the Corvette?" Yes is the answer. What else? He said the first week he drove it, his 89-year-old mother insisted that he bring it. And when he took her to breakfast, because of course everybody wants the ride.
Yep. He has to lower her and pull her out, lower her into the car, pull her out of the car, but that's expected. But the reality is they're still doing it. They're getting in this car, which I think is fantastic.
Here is a practically brand new 2001 C5, 18,000 miles.
That's crazy good looking.
Thing.
I can't believe how clean that is. I mean, look, I would love to color, but I'm just being obnoxious when I say that. That is so clean.
Dave,
25-year-old
awesome.
car.
Yeah.
All the receipts. He got the big binder of receipts. The car is mint, all original. He's loving it.
I am hoping that it didn't come with 25-year-old tires on it. So,
well, if it did, you must change them immediately.
Please change them immediately.
Yes, for
Put
sure,
Vredestein Ultrac Pros on the car.
Good.
Clearly, somebody had it but didn't really enjoy it, and now it's kind of your obligation. I think you need to drive this a lot.
Well, I'm going to stop where you were on tires for just a second. I'm going to say this. This has happened, and it's actually in other car debates as well and car conclusions. Folks, if your tires are more than about 5 years old, you need to consider changing them. If you buy somebody's unused, like these cars, unused car, and you think, wow, the tires still have lots of tread on them, and they're like more than 5 years old, 10, 20 years old.
That is not the metric.
Carefully drive that car to a place for new tires, because this, I hate to beat on the point here, but this is what killed Paul Walker. Is old tires on a powerful car. So please, please, please. The last thing for you, Dave, though, is you said you're about an hour from New Jersey Motorsports Park, and you're considering bringing this Corvette to Hooked on Driving Track Day, and I cannot say yes fast enough. You've got to come to one of those events. Go to hookedondriving.com, look at our Northeast region. They've got events at NJMP happening this year. We've got a few, and you should totally try that Corvette on the track. It'd be great. Jumping to questions, I'm going to start here with Aniswar's question. He asked a question. Actually, he kind of gets ahead of himself and gets ahead of all of us on our Utah meetup. Our Utah meetup is going to happen in September of this year, and that's where we're going to be. It's essentially a 4-day trip, and we're going to do great drives around Park City and then our favorite roads through central Utah, and it is a spectacular time of year to do those roads. And every time we do them, which is pretty much annually, we're boggled anew. They're just great, great roads.
Great.
But he's asking questions because he said he's never come to one of these trips. He's going to fly in from D.C. He's asking about where to get an Airbnb and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to stop you right there. Whoa, hang on. Some people that did their first adventure with us ever for the COTA trip last year got the impression that the way that was run is how these are run. That was an exception because we were filming and moving and lots of crazy stuff was happening. If you come on one of our trips, they're all inclusive. So Aniswar, if you want to sign up for this, and it's not up and posted yet, but it will be soon. When you pay for that trip, all of your lodging is taken care of. All of your meals are taken care of. You have to, on the domestic trips, you have to bring a car. So either rent one here or you drive in, or people do all of the above. But except for having the car and the gas for the domestic trips, it's all handled. And it's always just at most a few $1,000s versus the really expensive trips that you do elsewhere. So all of that will be already established for you. You won't have to worry about finding lodging. So don't get an Airbnb. Don't worry about any of that. Wait until the trip is launched. Again, it's going to be like the 20th through the 23rd of September. Wait till the trip is launched and see what the itinerary is, because I bet 90% of your concerns will be solved, except for you finding a car, which is probably a Turo. But there's some good stuff in Salt Lake to Turo, actually.
Got a question here on Facebook from Kirk Meyer asking, what iconic decal would you design to put on the Cayman, Emira, Cayenne, and 4Runner? Like the Pontiac Firebird, the Fire Chicken, and the Raptor Splash.
I hate these so much. I know that I'm alone in that. I know a lot of people like it. I dislike decals so very much.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, and I wouldn't do anything on the Cayman. I'm
not surprised.
Clean.
Plus, you have your really yellow wheels if you want to make a statement.
Yeah, see, I've got the
gold
yellow wheels on there.
Super, like, eye-searing yellow wheels.
Hey, it's a complimentary color.
I know.
I
know
think-
all your reasons.
Anyway, half the people like them, half the people hate them. It's a complimentary
You
color.
nailed
It's
it. You nailed the
exact
target. Half and
other
half.
side of the color wheel, and I think it looks great. Anyway, I'm the only person that has to like it, right?
Yes, you do.
On the Emira, I'm toying with the John Player Special livery.
Oh, sure.
But I'm not sure if it would look good on the Emira or not. I want it to look good, but I think something, the British Racing Green or the green, the Colin Chapman sort of Lotus with the yellow
Sure,
kind of look
sure.
might look better. I mean, as a matter of fact, Lotus actually came out with an edition
Yeah.
already, so they've kind of beat me to it, but something that is tasteful. It's more about color than necessarily graphics. I mean,
Okay.
I see graphics in the car anymore, on any car, trucks, anything, and it's just sort of like, yeah. Not a fan, not the biggest fan.
I will say that the Ruba Cayenne is the thing that needs graphics. Now, I've put the Ruba Cayenne words on it, but it almost deserves
That-
like a stupid graphical mud splash or something ridiculous. But
Well,
anyway, yeah.
the Trans-Siberia thing that they did
Yeah,
with those, the
yeah.
orange mirrors,
Sure.
Trans-Siberia in the car, and do
That's where we got that
Ruba
color.
Cayenne.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Instead, I think that would look pretty cool.
My wife, who doesn't really like a lot of gaudy things on cars, she keeps going, we should get orange wheels for that car. I'm like, really?
You
She
should
wants to
totally get orange
She wants to do
wheels,
the orange
yes.
wheels and the orange mirrors. And I'm like, I think that's a bridge too far for me. She's like, come on. So I don't know. That apparently is our play around car. I don't know what that's about.
And then the 4Runner, I guess, I mean, I'm toying with options on the 4Runner. I'm looking into doing a little bit of a build with the 4Runner, and I found a company that makes a carbon fiber hood.
Things you don't need. but
Things I
cool.
don't
I mean,
need.
cool.
It's really cool
Yeah.
looking, and I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Weight savings on your 4x4. I don't think anybody's ever thought about
Nobody
that, but there you go.
cares.
Carbon fiber. It's going to look great.
They do carbon fiber fender flares too.
Of course they do.
And I thought that
Yeah.
could be kind of interesting.
So that when you crack one, it's really expensive.
Maybe that's not such a good
I
idea.
will say that the next time that you go to Moab, you're going to have to at least temporarily take your mud flaps off, because what you discovered the
probably
last
will,
time is
yeah.
that the mud flaps scrape before anything else, because they're kind of like
Get out there with a
semi-hard
utility
plastic.
knife and
I'm
like,
sure there's a key for them on the back. I'm sure it would work.
I'll have
But
to
yeah,
maybe take those off. But then, yeah, I like the kinds of graphics that are sort of all the companies who made the product for the truck, and they're tastefully done, kind of like the backdrop when you see celebrities doing the walkthrough through a premiere. You know, it's just tasteful logos everywhere. I kind of like that stuff. But
okay.
then it's too. I don't know.
I have a very low tolerance for graphics, but nobody said I had good style. Anyway, Bruce B. said, do we have a story about taking one of our friends or neighbors out and talking them out of a boring car and a reliable choice into something fun they now thoroughly enjoy? That's interesting. Well, I did get my parents finally into a Corvette. That was a victory.
Yes,
I mean, he'd
you
wanted one
did.
forever, but he did actually buy a Corvette. I still can't believe he did that, which I'm very excited about. And they had that experience we just had from a car debate where it was like, are we taking the Vet? And my mom ended up liking it more than my dad, which I'm astonished by. But the one I really thought of when Bruce posted this question is, I'm involved in a coffee club here in Park City, and it's a lot of people that are very unlike Paul and I, like captains of industry in tech, which is not what I am. But it's an interesting group to be involved in and talk to folks. And one day, one of the guys in there was talking about he needed a little kind of runabout car. And he's listing off his budget, which was below 15 grand, and all of these kind of boring SUV hatchback things that he thought up that would all fit that. And of course, he had a couple of Subarus on there because it's Park City and everybody has a Subaru if you don't have a Range Rover. So he's listing all these things. But he's talking about these cars and bemoaning the fact that he can't get something fun. And there's a part of him that like misses manual transmission. It wouldn't be cool to get something fun, but he's listed all of this stuff off. And of course, this is what we do for a living, right? So I'm listening to this whole story, and he gets done, and I said, you know what you should look at? And I thought of it like moonshot, like he'll never consider this. I was like, you really ought to look at the Fiat 500 Abarth. Just something about his story. I was like, that's a car for you to look at. I said, it's fun to drive. It's atypical. It's got a great little exhaust. It's a fun little throwable hatchback. Next time I saw him, he bought one.
What?
Yes. He was like, I got a great deal. I can't believe it. I got it for like $9,000. It's amazing. I love it. He didn't have it long. He had it for like 8 months or so. But he loved it. He was like, I was going to buy something kind of stupid and boring for this time period that he needed this car. And he was like, I bought an Abarth and I loved it. So that was really cool.
I will just bring up quickly the Adventures. People have noted that it can kind of get expensive.
I love that you're sharing this. This is a great, have you seen this? I love this. This is good.
We were surprised. Chance Hales found this, and the other Todd that was with us on our Beartooth adventure in September 2025 brought this particular car on the trip. It can be seen in the line of cars in the video.
Yep.
I do not want to inquire now. We've actually seen that car.
I've driven that car. It's very good.
You have driven this.
It was great. Drove it on that
Here
piece.
it is listed on Elferspot, and even part of the write-up includes, right down here, the provenance of the car. It was included in the Everyday Driver Beartooth Adventure trip, and Chance came across the listing. We don't know. We haven't talked to Todd and found out what he has gotten next or replaced, but here's this car, and we were amazed looking at this car. I was like,
there is not a cleaner
incredible.
one of these Targas out there.
He
It
had told
is
me
so clean.
the amount of maintenance when he acquired it, he took it to a dealer and said, pretty much do everything, and dumped money into this car to make it perfectly sorted. And here it is for sale. And that's the car.
I don't need it. It's
amazing.
$62,000 on the list, which is actually for that car is actually really good price, but I don't need one. But you could not
cool
find a better
Targa.
one. I talked about it and waxed lyrical about it in that Beartooth piece because I got to drive it on camera. It is really, really nice. But I am laughing that he talks about he went to Pebble Beach in Carmel and he went on the Everyday Driver trip and he was like, and now it's perfect and I'm selling it. I had the adventure with it. I love that. Wonder what's next for him. That's crazy.
Not sure. So just saying, you're going to drive things. And that's really, Bruce, where the selling and the convincing happens is on these trips because you see, can I drive that and key swap? And then phones come out and you start looking at autotempest.com and thinking about your budget back home and what could I do? What could I sell? And that's when it all comes together.
Always. So. It happens to us. And you'd think we'd get immune, but we're not. We're still doing it.
Thank you guys for watching, for listening. Really appreciate it. 2026 is a huge year for us for filming. We've got so many cool plans, but you know where to go for all the adventures and the Hooked on Driving track days. So everydaydriver.com/adventures and hookedondriving.com. We would love to see you at a track day or an adventure this year. Until next time, cheers, everyone.